Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Mike Plays RP1 Redux. In the last episode, I spent the bulk of the time trying to sort out a staging issue with my V2/U2000 stack to try to attempt to go 3,000 kilometers downrange. And at the conclusion of that episode, I did resolve the sorting, I did resolve the staging, I'm sorry. And if you want to take a look at that episode, you should be able to see a link for it coming up here at the top right. But this episode, what I'm going to first jump into is actually starting to play with the profiles. I realized some mistakes that I was making when I was looking over the editing last episode, and see if we can get that 3,000 kilometers downrange. Also, last episode, I did my inaugural launch of the U2000 sounding rocket in an attempt to do this altitude sounding rocket difficult, and was puzzled that it wasn't able to achieve the necessary altitude. And then I started looking back at, well, what's the other times I did these contracts? Because this contract keeps repeating itself over and over again, and found out that every time you do this contract, it changes the parameters and increases this altitude a little bit each time. The first time I think it was 150 kilometers, the second time was 180, and this third time it was 230 kilometers, which is just beyond the capabilities of this U2000 rocket. So yeah, that's a little, I didn't know that that was a thing, so that's why this contract didn't get successful. But in the interim, I do have, let's get rid of these contracts for now. I do have another V2 number 1 being built. It is 91% of the way built. It's almost done. It's going to be done in just a little over 6 days and then a couple days to roll it out. I do have another U2000 being built. I have to figure out what we're going to do with them. But I also have early science just about researched, only less than 2 weeks away. This is going to be researched early science. This is a big one because it's got the advanced biological capsule in it, and that is the thing I need to finish off the suborbital research program. So probably get into starting to design something that can make use of that and try and finish off the contract. But in the meantime, before we get into any of that, I do want to jump in and see if I can get that rocket that go 3,000 kilometers downrange. We'll bring it up here. It is the V2 number 1/U2000. So this is what I've got so far. It's a V2 number 1. It is the very basic one, steel fuselage, A9 engine on the bottom, or A4 engine on the bottom, not upgraded to the A9. I'm resisting the urge. I'm pretty sure I can do this without having to upgrade this rocket. On top of that is the U2000 with the upgraded U1250 engine upgraded to the U2000 engine, and an aluminum fuselage to help to save weight. And it was all the in between the two. I do have the Aerojet booster, and it was in all of this staging that I was getting. I got it all sorted out. I'm not going to play with it anymore. Combination. MechJeb was really kind of actually screwing it up. So it's a combination of smart parts in there, some KOS coding that's in there, but that is all sorted. So what I want to do is, I think this rocket's actually okay. I want to see if I can push it downrange. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate it. And we're going to play with the trajectory here. So this is it. And I realized watching the stream and actually going back and watching in my first RP1 series when I did the 3,000 kilometer downrange contract with a very similar rocket to this one. The actual only difference is that the top booster was actually built around the Aerospace series of engines rather than the Russian U1250 series of engines. But I guess I could go to the Aerospace, see if that is, but I want to see if this makes any difference. But the thing I noticed was I was going up much steeper. And I was going up and getting to an altitude of about 750 kilometers. And then I remembered a comment that I got from somebody several episodes back saying, if you want to maximize downrange, you want to have 45-degree angle for your pitch. And at the time, I kind of like, yeah, but which is true. In ballistics, just a purely ballistic trajectory, launch angle 45 degrees. And I think he was referring to tilting the whole rocket assembly over. I didn't want to do that. But then I realized when I let go of this rocket and it becomes an unguided missile, which is what it does. The guided part's just on the bottom on the V2. It should be at a pitch of about 45 degrees. I realize that that is correct. So that's going to be what I'm going to shoot for as a goal. So what I'm thinking is actually just simply increasing the target apoapsis. So this is kind of arbitrary. It's not going to reach because I could also, by the way, go to the classic Ascent profile where you can just change the shape of the Ascent, but I still want to play with this. So I'm going to change this to 500 kilometers. That should get it to go up much more steeply. Still pitch over rate of 0.5 degree per second. That's right. Still have the auto staging off. That is right. Okay. So I'm ignoring the instructions that are over here. And then what I'm going to do is we're just going to run this. Oh, shoot. I know what I need to do. I need to go back to the... let's shoot. I don't have the contract selected, so I can't monitor my downrange. I can monitor the downrange with MechJeb, I know, but it's actually better to do it with the contract. Then you know for a fact the contract is going to be satisfied, so bear with me here. Exit out of that. Okay, and we're going to go into mission control. We're going to take a look at contracts, and we got to take out this one that I have selected that I can't do anyway. Maybe I can do the intermediate one in between. It only requires 180. Yeah, I could do that one. So that might be worthwhile to do with my U2000. 24 reputation. But I guess the idea is they just didn't want you constantly spamming reputation. So eventually these guys just are going to go out of reach for your basic little rockets. But what I'm looking at here is 3,000 kilometers downrange. Let's do that. All right, and now simulate. All right, and all we got to do is engage our autopilot and run downrange. And you got to put some parameters in this now. I did this last episode where I added in some parameters. The first parameter is there a payload to be recovered? And I put in, they're both Boolean parameters, and that's a false. The second parameter is, are you going to take advantage of, are you going to have KOS deal with the staging? And the answer to that question is true. So you got to put in those parameters to get the downrange to work right. Otherwise, I should be able to just hit go and open this up. And we're off. And what I'm really looking at, here I'll put a little bit of time warp action into this. What I'm really looking at is, what is the pitch? I want the pitch when it releases this rocket to be about 45 degrees. So I'm going to keep playing with this target apoapsis until, you know, because right now it's aiming for a high apoapsis, so it shouldn't pitch over that hard. And just keep going until I get the downrange that I need. Speaking of which, I can take a look at the contract here. It's keeping track of my downrange for me. Okay, and we're going to take the time warp off. And could pitch over. Oh, it's starting to do that on its own. See, that's what I don't like. Okay, we'll see how it does. There it goes. And that. And that. Beautiful. Beautifully done. And still, last time I was having issues with it being pushed off course. That time, that did not happen. I actually kind of like the pitch. I think the pitch is pretty good. I don't think it's bad. So what we want to do is we want to see how far this guy will burn for. I'm not entirely convinced I need the tail fins either. Now that that release point is happening higher in the atmosphere. It might be some extra weight for really no reason. Anyway, let's put on a little bit of time warpy happening here. Gonna get a lot higher of an apogee out of this. Okay, I'm gonna take the time warp off as we get to our space line. Breaking speed records, breaking 3,000 meters per second speed record. We're definitely gonna break the 4,000 meter per second speed record. There that one goes. Going to be breaking altitude records. All kinds of good stuff. And we have 714 kilometers for our apogee. Let's leave it at that, and let's see what this sucker is going to do for us for the downrange department. Also, I'm really hoping that the sound levels for the game sounds are better. I realized during the editing, finally, of last episode, that actually I have two audio channels. One, the intent is to record this voiceover, and the other is the intent is to record the game sounds, and I keep those separate from each other. But I actually had it set up with OBS to one of the channels was actually recording both my voice and the game sounds. So the game sounds were on both channels, so that when I was editing, they were adding together and increasing the volume, and it took me way too long to figure out that that was happening. Okay, what are we doing here? We are trucking along. We broke the 250 kilometer altitude record. I don't know why I went to, should be able to just, there we go, full time warp. Don't have to do the physics time warping. We are totally, no atmospheric effects anymore. There goes 500 kilometers. The next one is 750. We're not going to beat that. We are not going to beat that one, but how are we doing on the downrange? That's the one that's important. Not apogee is, what is it, 714 kilometers, so I'm gonna, let's calm this down. We're getting close to apogee, and I am also getting close to the downrange distance, 1,400 kilometers. Remember, I'm supposed to get to 3,000 kilometers. I see islands down below. I don't think I saw islands before. Or are those just weird cloud shadows? They're weird cloud shadows. They're not islands. They are weird cloud. We're picking up Bermuda now. For our tracking. Okay, program has ended. Oh, also disengage all of this stuff because I could have disengaged that a long time ago because this thing is totally unguided at this point. All right, let's keep, we have passed our apogee, and we're also past halfway on the downrange. I'm hoping that is encouraging. And I've totally forgotten. Can I open up MechJeb? What did I have that parameter set at? Did I? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's still here, 500 kilometers. Okay, remember that for the target apoapsis. If this works, that is going to be the ticket. And sorry for last episode being all about just fiddling with staging, but you know, that's kind of how this game goes. Right? You gotta be prepared in RP1 to... Oh, my batteries are almost empty. I only got 2 minutes left. I don't think I collected any science right now. There's no... The science has been removed, yes. But I might want to put a few more batteries on this guy because I don't want to totally lose communication with him. So we'll see how long I go. We got 2 minutes left. We're at 15.5 minutes on the mission clock. So we'll see. So 15.5. Well, let's see when the time clock goes out here. When our electricity runs out. Oh, I think we're going to get this. We're at 27:26. 27:44. 17 minutes on the mission clock. Might want to add just a couple more minutes onto... Oh, oh, wait a minute. We just lost... communication, but only because we were out of range. I still had 30 seconds of electricity left on it, so we're going to lose communication anyway because we're too far away from any of our tracking stations. Our antennas on ground antennas. Okay, but this is still working. 2,866. Oh no, 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 no. That was fins blowing up. 2,902. Oh my gosh, we're so close. 2,920. Okay. All right, we're going to have to try it. This has got to work. Okay, what I'm going to do. It's got to work. I got to tweak just a little bit more. Let's, that can close. This can revert back to the editor. I am not convinced I need these tail fins. But I do want to keep them just in case. So, whoops, what I'm going to do, if I can push the right buttons here, is just throw them into a subassembly. So if I need to bring them back, I can. So these are, what did I call these? U series tail fins. Always the I looks like an L. And these are small ones. The other ones were normal sized ones, save. Okay. So if I have to put them back, I can, but I'm going to take these off. I'm also looking at, can I make these anything in here? No, this density on the fairings is as low as it's going to go. The pre-shape is an egg. Maybe a different shape will be a little lighter. Does this light? No, it doesn't. But I actually don't like the egg anyway. So I might just, there's the straight up conic. Because I'm not enclosing a payload. Conic. Cone egg. Not sure what a cone egg is. The Atlas. The Delta. That's pretty good. Jupiter Titan. We're getting into... So, okay. Let's just go with this, the Delta here. And I'm also going to make the top just a little smaller. We are so close, folks. We are so close. Okay, just in there, I'm gonna make the top just a little smaller, just so it encloses that nicely. I think that just it's smoother. Probably did bring down the weight a little bit, but probably not too much. Save this. I also think I'm going to increase this to 0.2 of a second rather than 1/10. So this is the amount of time between when this booster is just about dry and when it releases this it's the amount of time between when this motor starts and then this decoupler goes. I'm reducing it because I don't want the booster to be pushing on this rocket. I think it's better for it to drag the booster a little bit, let that booster completely run dry, and then let it go. Otherwise, though, I think what I'm going to do is simulate this one more time. And I'm also going to change this target periapsis. Now, right now, the periapsis is at negative 6,360 whatever kilometers, because that's the radius of the Earth. That's where our periapsis is now. But I put it a little higher, so it's putting some effort into trying to raise the periapsis, which I don't want it to do. So I'm going to change that to a 6,000. See if that makes things any better at the release point. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to go engage, run, downrange, no payload, but do the staging for me. Go. I'm gonna have to change the boot file instructions once I get this all sorted too. There we go. And contract. Alright, let's hope this one goes a little better. I do like that shape at the top here quite a lot better. I think it looks better. Sort of the cone rather than that kind of egg thing. Not sure it'll make any difference, but I do think it looks better. Okay. Oh, and I meant to put... Well, let's not worry about the electricity. Electricity wasn't an issue. I just let the electricity... Oh, I could put less electricity in here. Yes, look how much electricity... I should really watch this. Look how much electricity is in this bottom stage, because it was meant to run an entire... So that's really high. I think removing the tail fins was a good idea, but look how it's... I think it's pitched maybe a little bit too high. And I forgot to... But I can take out at least half the electricity in that V2. It is more wobbly. So maybe the fins weren't a terrible idea. Okay, well, physics, we're in space, and oh my gosh, we're going to be pushing up that apogee, though. We are pushing up the apogee. I did like that it did not pitch over. Apogee's now clearing 800 kilometers, 900 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers. Wow, that isn't going to be space any, is it? I don't think that's high space. Oh, I don't know why I just do the regular time warp. Let's get up there. Cracking all kinds of altitude records this time. 1,000 kilometer altitude's gonna fall. But it might be a little bit too pitched up. Okay, we're over 1,000, but that is still space low. Downrange, that's what's important. Yeah, we're past apogee, we're not halfway. So that's probably not great. I'm gonna put the tail fins back on and then just bring this down a little bit. How is my batteries doing? Oh, I think we are out of juice. I think we are... Oh, it's not... Yeah, I'm out of juice. So if I'm going to go with this setup, I got to put more electricity on the top. We are falling, 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 falling. Going back into the atmosphere, and this fella is not going to live long. Nah, we're not going to do it. So... Try again. Okay, so number one, let's put the tail fins back on. That's why I put them in an action group in the beginning, so I just grab them again. It felt a little wobblier. We'll nail this yet. I'm encouraged. I am. Three-way symmetry. Okay, so the tail fins. I'm not even sure how heavy these parts are. What are they? Is this the mass here? That must be in tons. So 1, 2... Is that like 1 kilogram? I think so. Doesn't even tell you down here. Current wing mass. 1, 2, 3. They're a kilogram each. I don't know. We'll leave them. Electricity. Here. I do not need anywhere near this amount of electricity. I'm going to bring it down to 100. It only has to survive... until the booster separation. So apply and preserve the dimensions. Close that. Otherwise, I don't think there was anything else I was thinking of doing. Save it, simulate. I'm going to change this to negative 5,700. Actually, 5750, exactly halfway between the two numbers that I just had. And we're going to run Downrange. False. True. And I didn't engage the autopilot because I'm a big dopey dope. Try again. Restart. Okay, those numbers are still in there from before. We're going to engage. Now run our program. Okay, that is that. And contract. Oh. Contract. And this time I'm really going to pay attention to electricity here and see. I would like this just a separation, so starting at 100 kilojoules, and really pay attention to how much it uses during this ascent. When I get close, when this gets close, I'm gonna really pay attention. Because that's saving weight right there. Less batteries. Off the time warp. You can see it's not even used up half of its electricity yet. Oh, it's doing the pitch over. So, don't quite like that. Squeezing up. Yeah, used up just shy of half the electricity. And for some reason, I got no... Oh, yeah, why? I don't know what happened there. Let's restart. Does it... No, I didn't make that smart part change. I did that at the beginning. Okay, restart the simulation. So the smart part that's supposed to trigger the next stage here did not fire. That is this fella here. So I'm going to put it up to 11%. And I'm going to make myself write it down. Wrote that down. I'm going to increase this number a little bit to 5,800. And we're going to engage that. And we're going to run. And eventually, we're going to get this. Okay, contract. Yes. I think 50 kilojoules on this might be a little bit tight, but I think changing it to 75 would feel pretty comfortable. So I'm going to go to 75 kilojoules on the avionics. Ready, get that ready, get that ready, get that ready. Hopefully now the staging will happen a little bit cleaner. It's still doing the pitch over part, which well, it's not bad. Look at that, right at 45. That's pretty good. Go. Nice. And good. So a little bit of push. I might go to 0.3 seconds. On that other smart part, there was a little bit of push happening. I think it did induce a teeny amount of wobble. Overall, all right. I do like the pitch here. So we might be closing in on our numbers. And in fact, while this is going, why don't I do myself the favor of starting to adjust the downrange. Which one's the one? This one, the 3 megameters downrange. So we are changing this to 5800. We'll verify that in just a little bit. This is to 500. And this is to run downrange, false, and true. When ready. Okay, we can save that. Close that. So what was it? Minus 5800 and 500, right? Minus 58 and 500 is correct. Okay. Disengage autopilot, and that'll be done. We've got now 600 kilometers on the apogee. So not going as high. Is it me, or is it... What happened here? How did this... I'm pretty sure I don't have failures enabled, but I got a little pinky. Something happened with that motor. Status is nominal. But look how much fuel's still left in here. How much propellants. Not sure what happened there. Okay, time warp. Yeah, that electricity warning was from the V2 booster. It is totally cool for it to run out of electricity. Yeah, I don't think there's any way. What happened? It just ran out of fuel early. I'm very kind of confused. Okay, there's no way I'm getting to the 3000. I'm already on my way down. So let's... Alright, let's make some changes. So here, for instance, this now can be... I think 75 is a good number. Apply and preserve dimensions. I also wrote a note to change this guy to 11% fuel. Did fail that one time. And change this guy to 0.3 seconds. Saving all this. Alright. Simulate. Failures are not enabled. Maybe something weird just happened. Okay, so we have here negative 58, 500, that's all good. Engage the autopilot and run downrange, false, and true. All right. We'll see how she does this time. That was, I mean, it said the status on the motor was nominal, but it had a pinkish color here and certainly lots of fuel left over, so sure feels like something happened. Alright, I'm going to take the time warp off because we're getting close to the whole staging business. How much electricity's in here? Still, like, over half. Getting very close to half. I don't want to cut that too fine. I think it's good. Okay, there's that. That. And that. That was nice. Nice separation. We can disengage MechJeb. It is not doing anything. We have, I think, a very nice stable spin happening, which is good. I do like the pitch. And hopefully this time the... was I time warping at the time? I don't think I was. I'm trying to think if I was doing some physics time warping while that engine was going, but I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, I'm just gonna let the I'm not gonna touch the time warp. I'm just gonna let it go, and we'll see where this ends up. 14 minutes of electricity in this guy. All right, 3,000. Okay, that's the battery warning for the booster, the V2 down there. But whatever, it's plummeting to its doom. It can run out of batteries. That doesn't matter. Okay, we are in space. We got 600 kilometers on the apogee. 700, yeah, something just funny happened before. Lots of, look at our G's. Okay, 842 kilometers on the apogee. No more electricity on the V2, but that doesn't matter. Let's get to apogee. Again, all kinds of records falling. Gotta like records falling. Okay. Just about at apogee here. We'll just wait for KOS to tell us that we are at apogee. Okay. Oh, well, Jeepers Creepers. Come on. You got the number. What is it? 768. There we go. Apogee reach. We are now falling. We are at 1,394 kilometers. So freaking close. I feel like I just need to find just a little bit more weight savings on this guy. Okay. At least this time the... Oh, no, it did say here. There it's pink. Just ran out of fuel earlier than you would expect. What's our electricity? We are down to under 2 minutes of electric charge. A little load to put... It doesn't need the batteries, though, so... You know, if anything, I can take out more batteries. Because it doesn't need it. It's not running any experiments. It's not... It's just for... You know... I don't even know what it's for, to be honest. What we're using the electricity for. It says here. Just on the comm systems. That's it. But we don't need communication. So... Maybe reduce the electricity on the top. That might save me a little bit more weight. Anyway. Yeah, this thing's now out of electric charge. Okay, so we're back in the Atmo. 2,688 kilometers. But this isn't going to last long. 2,705. Yeah, there goes those tail fins. 738. 754, and then we're dead. Frack. It's 2,762. We're so close. So close. But so far. Okay. Back to the editor. Okay, save and wait. Again, I know I can put the A9 on there and all my problems are solved. And honestly, probably not a bad idea, but... Gonna try one more thing and then we're gonna switch to the A9. The other issue I could do is switch this to the Araby, which is what I used before. What do I got, just out of curiosity now, if I did bring out the Araby, what kind of upgrades do I got on the Araby? If I bring up the engine GUI. So I can go all the way up. I have to buy them, but all the way up to the AJ10-27. So we got all these upgrades. You know, maybe maybe a lower mass engine on the top might not be. What's the lowest mass engine? The Whack Corporal has a mass, where is it here, of only, good golly, what's that, 8 kilograms? That one's 10 kilograms, that one's 10 kilograms, that one's 12 kilograms, okay. The U-1250, if I open up the engine, like this might be, it is 13 kilograms, the current motor, the 2000, 15 kilograms for the 1700, and so the 2000 is 13 kilograms for 23 kilonewtons of thrust and 60 seconds of burn time, while this guy is 12 kilograms for 21 kilonewtons of thrust and 52 seconds of rated burn time. Let's stick with what I got. I think I'm splitting hairs, to be honest. Okay, tail fins are off. Let's go up here and reduce the amount of electricity. There's 225 grams of batteries in there, but I think half might be 30 kilojoules of batteries. That saved a little bit of weight. Save. Okay, if this doesn't work, I am going to the A9 engine. Just, yeah, I don't know. Might have to retool. Well, maybe I don't have to retool tanks for the new engine. Maybe I can just live with what I got. Okay, so I've taken the tail fins off, so that saved me remember, each of those tail grams were about 1 kilogram, so I've lost about 3 kilograms up at the top. I also took out a reasonable amount of the electricity out of the top. Because we don't need it. I could probably take off more. If the electricity runs out, it doesn't matter. Maybe, you know, maybe I just need it until this engine goes, and then it's just a frickin' brick anyway. Targeting. Or time warping. Off, pitching over to 45 degree. I like this is like bang on. I like it. There. 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 Okay, and not very wobbly, even though I took the tail fins off. Like, that's pretty stable. That's pretty stable. So hopefully that will, this has all now done the trick. We only got about 15 minutes of electric charge left. Maybe I'll even reduce it a little bit more, because I would think you'd want the electric charge while the motor is running, but then once the motor is done, you know, you don't really need any more. Let's see how much electricity we've used up by the time that motor runs out. You don't need electricity for the whole part while it's just a, you know, a brick going through space. At least I wouldn't think. Okay, we're in space. We got the space music. The batteries on the V2 are again dying on us. Really, when it comes to rockets, too, if you want to save weight, saving weight on the payload is the place to try and save weight as opposed to the booster. If you can save a few kilograms saved up here, makes a big difference. Not as much a big difference on the booster. Okay, it's just a G's that we pull. Okay, so look at that. See, if I just put in 10 kilojoules of electric charge, I think I'm going to bring that down to like 10 kilojoules of electric charge. I don't need electricity anymore. Well, actually, maybe until we get to apogee. Let's do it to that, because the program here is still running. Does that count, by the way, as using up electricity? No. All right, 870 on the AlphaMensae. Okay, time warping out to the top. It was at 870. Okay, 860. Take the time warp off. I've now used up over half. So if I change this to 30 kilojoules, I think I'd feel pretty good about that. 30 kilojoules, because then the program will shut down. Of course, it all depends upon... maybe it's not worth it. Where are we at? Just about at apogee. Okay, getting 1,400 kilometers downrange thus far. I think that's better than before. 1413. Okay, program has ended. I am going to put this down to 35 kilojoules. Let's call it that. Disengage MechJeb. It's not doing anything. Oh, I don't want to go to the A4 or the A9 engine. I really want to make this work. I gots to make it work. I gots to. I think it might be lofting it a little high. A little high. I'm wondering if, with MechJeb, bring up MechJeb again. If I get into the Ascent guidance here and get into this part, like if I just had it pitching over a little bit more quickly, so it doesn't do that push over, maybe like 0.6, and maybe change this to like, I think it's a little high. I had it at 5750 before. Maybe bring this number down. I don't know. Got a feeling if I could just dial that in. All right, going down, out of electricity, which is perfectly fine. We don't care. Okay, back in the Atmo. There it is, the very upper reaches of the atmosphere. Very thin up here. 2,735 for the downrange distance. $2,768. 84. It is largely just falling, isn't it? Oh, here we go. 2,801. 2,827. I know I said I was going to go to the A9, but revert to editor. Let me think. If we go to the A9, I've already unlocked it, for goodness sakes. That puts the amount of burn time up to 115 seconds. We also have the rated burn time, sorry. We also have a significant improvement in Delta V. I'm hoping maybe not to have to retool the tank. Let's go back to the A4 and let's open up the Delta V McJobbies. There we go. So right now on this bottom stage, I have 1 minute and 35 seconds of burn time. If I go to the A9, what's changing here? I'm losing a whole stage for some reason. Oh, I gotta reconfigure the fuel. That's right. Okay, so let's save this before I go any further. Open this up. Switch it to, so right now, I gotta make sure, I lose track of which stage is what. This is stage, bottom stage. So 1 minute and 35 seconds of burn time here. If I switch this to the A9, and then I have to turn on the tank UI. Remove all the tanks. And then fill it for the A9. It's now 1 minute and 40 seconds. So I got a little bit more burn time because of the increased efficiency of the motor. The rated burn time is 115 seconds, which is what? 1 minute and 55 seconds. So it's not quite up to the rated burn time. I can retool the tank. Goodness sakes, it's not going to be that much. I should really resave this as V2 number 2 with the A9 engine on it now. Let's save this. What did I say? 100 and rated burn time's 1 minute and 55. If I increase the length of this tank, she's getting bigger, folks. There's 1 minute. And there are people just suggesting to me, instead of me doing all of that, and I did a test about this a few episodes ago, and I kind of agree with them. Just add on like 15 seconds. So 55, 15 would be 2 minutes and 10. So what if I just change the length so it says 210? Oh, 210 right on the button. I mean, this has got to do it now. Now, what would the tooling costs on this puppy be? Oh, we got, fairings and stuff like that, but just on the conventional structure steel tank that I pushed up to 12.5, right? That's you, isn't it? Length 12.3, yeah, that is you. Tooling that is $1,243. The fairings, for instance, are way more. Oh my gosh, the 3 fairings... Sheepers, creepers. What if I took these fairings right off? Do I really need them? Like, look at that. That brings down the tooling costs dramatically. I'm really tempted just to see what this does. Just like that. Forget the fairings. Just do that. Here, let's control Z. Again, anything... Oh, I've not tooled them yet, so it doesn't matter. Never mind. Anything I've tooled, I like to... okay. So that brings down the tooling costs dramatically. I'm such a cheap bastard, man. And actually, I know before when I did this, I simply put a little decoupler up here rather than all that business. But let's just see what that this works. So I have no fairings at all. Let's save it and simulate. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, and I know I toyed with the idea of changing this pitch rate, but I already got enough things. So this is now with the A9 on it. Well, let's just engage the autopilot. Run, downrange, false, true. Don't need that. I want my contract, so. What the earthy happened there? Insufficient avionics. Oh, did I increase the weight of this thing by a lot? Probably. Oh my gosh. Oh boy, this thing's out of control. Okay. Revert to editor. I think I increased the tonnage over the... Yes. By increasing that length, I increased the tonnage. So the question becomes, if I decrease the length, you know what I'm going to do? Being, again, the cheap bastard that I am. I'm decreasing this length until I get tool. Let's bring it back to the length that I did tool. So this is a just a regular steel fuselage bit. The length should be 9.482 meters. Length 9.482 I have queued, or have tooled. I'm gonna do it exact. It doesn't have to be. Oh, here it says tooled. You don't have to be exactly on what you had before. But I mean, why not? Okay, so that's back to the old one. Now I shouldn't have to do any tooling at all on this whole rocket, which would be cool. But I did mess up these stickers here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, now just the length is over. Okay, simulate this. That way I don't have to tool new avionics. And this way I don't have to tool new avionics or anything like that. I kind of like that idea. Range, false, and true. Bam. Bingo, bango, bongo. Okay. Now I don't know if there's a significant amount of drag associated with this mess that I put up here at the top. I could put over the... What is the aerodynamic... Oh, that's the wrong one. Is it just F12? Put on the aerodynamic overlays. Oh, I guess I could use the aerodynamic MechJeb that's in... that comes with Ferram. Ferram gives you a much better, but I'm not sure how much drag is associated with this fairing up here at the top anyway. And as I didn't pay any attention to this before I took the fairings off, it really isn't much use having the overlay on, is it? Probably not. Let's just take them off. I don't think they're giving me any useful information. Heck with this. If you can get downrange, I don't care how ugly you are. I just don't. So we do have a different fuel in here now. We have high... someone's going to high dyne. High dyne. That was ethanol before, was it not? Can't remember. But it has changed. And of course, high dyne is something hydrazine dinoside. Oh, my rocket engineering knowledge is so limited. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to get the spin up. And there we go. And there we go. Again, pretty stable. Even without the tail fins. 45-degree pitch, pretty much bang on. Ascent guidance does not matter because we ain't got no more guidance. And we got still 15 minutes of electric charge in this guy. I did turn that down, right? Oh no, I never did. I kept it at 50. Okay. I never did turn that down. I guess I decided it wasn't worth it. All right. Either way, That was a significant amount of oompitude on that bottom stage. A little bit more burn time than it was before. Even though it's the same tank, just different fuel. Alright. And you can hear that space music going. We 700 800 apogee, 900 apogee, so it got higher than it did before. All right, time warpy. Time warpy. Okay, we're up there at apogee. Still 6 minutes of electric charge left, so that's all pretty good. Blew, of course, all kinds of speed and altitude records with this. We have not at apogee, and we just crossed the halfway point for our downrange. I think that's the first time that's happened, and we're not at apogee yet. So that fills me with some measure of confidence. Yeah, these little black dots is just something in the shading going on down there. By the way, with the clouds, I mentioned this before. This is still, oh gosh, look at that. Don't know what's happening now. Got shadows. These are like the little shadows, you know, when you stare at the sun too long. Something really bright. The little shadows in your eyes. Okay. But anyway, clouds are still release 4 of BlackRock's volumetric clouds. Not sure if that's playing into this rather than release 5. Not gotten release 5 to work with RP1 yet. And still working with version 3 of RP1, not the fairly recently released version 4. Still having all kinds of issues beyond. I'm now getting issues with Kopernicus with version 4. Don't know what. Might have to just reinstall it all over again. Whatever. We're getting warnings on our electricity. We have now run out of electricity. Don't care. Don't care, don't care, don't care. We're still well above the atmosphere. And we're closing in. We're closing in on our downrange distance. Look at this. We're still not into the atmosphere yet. 2,915. 2,965. Should have gone to the A.9 a long time ago. There we go. It's done. And just as we were entering into the atmosphere, I think I'm going to call it. I'm calling it. Let's, I don't care. Revert back to the editor. I'm calling it. This is my puppy. Now. And, yeah, I'm going to keep this ugly fairing just so I'm going to keep the fairings off. I'm going to keep this on the cheap. So I don't think I have any tooling to do. I do not. That is super duper awesome. I do have to make a modification to the launch pad. Not surprisingly, it is too small. Or this rocket's too tall. The max height on the launch complex, the V2 launch complex. No, I'm on the whole wrong complex here. Let's pick the right complex. There it is, V2 complex. Max height is 19 meters, and this is 25 meters. So it is too tall, not too heavy. In fact, it's just under the 17-ton weight requirement, so that's cool. All right, I'm pretty happy. So we're gonna end up. Let's just close a few things here. I like to get rid of these smart parts so you don't see them. You know, pretend that that's all kind of internal guidance, as it were. So what am I doing? I want this. That's what I want. There. And we'll put that on local. And we're just going to slide that inside so no longer see it. And is that the only one? It is the only one. So let's see if we can get her right in the middle. Best I can. Close enough. They're hardly weigh anything, so that's okay. And then we'll grab this guy. Do the same thing. Into the center you go. Grab this guy. Into the center you go. Okay. So just to clean everything up. No tooling to do, but I'm not going to push this into the building queue because I do have another V2 which is just about done. I haven't decided what I'm doing with it yet. Why don't I decide that now, in fact? And then once this guy is done, we'll renovate the launch complex. How long if I modify the launch complex, what's the cost is going to be $8,163, and it'll take there should be an estimated time somewhere. Construction time 27 days. Okay, so we'll just save this. Oh, and also I gotta change a texture here, don't I? This is now text. Should I change this to a Roman numeral 2s, like ding ding? Oh, that doesn't work right. Take it off the vertical. Or should I change it to a 2-2? No, like keep it Roman numerals. I like that. Okay, close that. V2 numero 2. Slide that up. Or else it looks like the 2 that's up there. Beautiful. And we'll build a proper V2 at some point too, but this is getting the job done. Don't have to retool the tank. I'm happy. Alright, so I gotta figure out a contract that V2 number 1 can do, or I can just have it collect science. There's always that option. Under contracts, under the V2, I gotta get a little careful about this now. We can take this guy off. We do have these long-range, downrange distance launch vehicle development. 500 units of sounding payload to get at least 140 and 240 kilometers downrange. I am very confident I can do that and collect science at the same time. 58 reputation for that. So I'm going to pick that one up. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our V2 number 1 and we're going to edit it. And yeah, it's got nothing on it. So we want to science this puppy up. So that is, we got to take off that nose cone. We've got to go to decoupling. Get the ring decoupler. Change that to a diameter of 1.25. Just like so. We're going to put on... Oh, we want to keep the avionics core. So the avionics has got to come off. The ring decoupler goes under that. Like so. And we've got to put on our 500... No. The science. The film camera. Boom, like that. I do have a new science part, by the way, being researched, the mass ion spectrometer. Landed biomes doesn't do anything, but so you can't, it does collect stuff flying high. I don't know. I don't know though. Oh, here, 2 hours duration. So it takes 2 hours to collect all the science that's available. So something you're either going to put in orbit, or if you're going to fly high with it, you're going to put it on like a high altitude jet and fly around with it, I would think. Not happening soon, but I don't know. We'll see. But right now I want the film camera, and under here I should have my 500 sounding payload. Did I not save something like that? What did I say? It requires how much? 500 units of sounding payload. Tail fins, 75 units. V2 nose cone. Sounding payload nose cone with 500 liters. That's exactly what I was looking for right there. So that is good. I also need, sorry, the parachute, which I'm going to put under here. And I'm going to try and finally do the parachute right. Now, one of the options I do have is just to use like a radial parachute rather than this double parachute. Maybe that's the better idea. And then I can just kind of bury it. Radial mounted parachute. This parachute's comparable to the but is placed radially, attached on top. This is a real chute. This one, oh, it also is. It's a procedural chute. I don't know what the difference is between these two. This one's lighter. Like, I could just put that on there and then just kind of bury it in the middle. Right? Just tuck it inside. This guy is definitely heavier. So if I show the parachute editor... Oh, wait, here, first of all, you want to take this business off. It's just going to recover the payload. So not even the decouplers gets recovered. It's that much. There we go. Would it be better to do this? Oh, shoot. We'll give her a test. Show in parachute editor. So the one I was using before was always, it was a double parachute whether I liked it or not. And I was all confused because there was a main and a secondary, but it really just was 2 chutes. Now I got this guy. And first of all, can you make it smaller? Probably not, but you can definitely make it lighter. Yeah, so we'll keep main, automatic, manual. Use the wet mass, downrange speed at that. Yeah, that's good. So there isn't a make it smaller option. There is not. But what I can do is simply apply these settings. There we go. And like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to take this little move tool and simply just kind of tuck it into all the texture here. Put it in the middle. I don't know if that's kosher. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. For me, it's always about, if it looks okay, I'm just going to go with it. If not, I'll go back to the radial one that was there before. Now, my staging definitely is boggered here. So engine first, then the launch clamps, and then these two go at the same time. What is the boot file on this fella? It is V2 film return. That is exactly the boot file I want to do. Let's open up Visual Studio. Take a look at V2 film return. You definitely want to run downrange and true and false. Yes, you're not doing any auto staging, but you do have a payload. And I'm going to keep those numbers. Okay. Okay, let's get rid of this. And let's give this a simulant. A simulation. So, simulate. Why am I hesitating? I don't know. Okay, so according to our contracts here, we need to get to an altitude of at least 140 kilometers, 240 downrange. And we got our 500 units of sounding payload aboard. We do need MechJeb. Ascent guidance. Okay, and it says here negative 6,200. 180. Auto stage is off. Engage MechJeb. And run downrange true false. Okay. Let's see how she does. And this will get me 58 reputation. Again, reputation increases your subsidies, more money in the bank. Speaking of which, I should really look at what my budget's doing. I don't know if I've looked in a little while. Anyway, this fella is off. So this, for those people who aren't, is actually the exact rocket that I was spending all that time with. It's exactly this. That had the U-2000 on top of it. And that I was doing all that fiddling with. And now it's flying solo. Flying solo. right, and again, oh, apogee is not a problem, 140 kilometers. We are at 171 kilometers. Again, this is now going to just simply tumble because it has no attitude control once the engine turns off. And yeah, let's just start time warping this up. If we can get 240 kilometers downrange, the contract will be satisfied. It does require, if I look at the automated part, oh shoot, things aren't on yet. Well, telemetry doesn't matter. There is no more science to collect other than in space. So maybe going up a little higher might not be a bad plan for this rocket. If it can comfortably do the 240. Yeah, now it's collecting some science, but it's, well, you know what, maybe I should, well, we'll see. See how comfortably it does the 240. Might make some adjustments. Because there is no more science for it to collect. The other thing I could do... What if I changed the inclination and fired it off, you know, over the continent that way? Fire it more towards the north. And, okay, we did that. We got the 5. Okay, so it's doing all that. That's all working great. So that's not a problem. So much electricity. I'm going to try that. There's more science to get if I just go in a different direction. So revert to editor. Or no, restart the simulation. Because there is no more film science to collect over the ocean. But if I look at my map, of course I got clouds in the way, but the United States is that way. I think I need to come sort of eastward, right? North and east, I would think. We'll keep an eye on it. So wait, let's start the planetary photography there. I know it's invalid. We're going to change our orbital inclination. This is how we're going to adjust this. Now, right now it's set at 28.5 degrees because that is our current latitude. And if you want to launch into an inclination of your current latitude, you go due east. That's just the way that works. You can't launch, by the way, into a latitude lower than, or into an inclination lower than your current latitude. But if I change this, so 90 would be north, but I want to keep going. And I also need to go past. Remember, this is inclination, not heading. North west would be an inclination of 90 plus 45 or 135. What if I put in 130? We'll just test this. See what this does for me. I'm really curious. I've not played with this yet. I don't know. So we're going to run. Oh, no, we're going to engage it. And we're going to run downrange true, false. Now, we will completely ignore the entire ethics of flying a V2 rocket over the continental United States and intentionally having it come down on somebody. We'll pretend. No, look at it roll over. That's nice. Jeb taking care of all that for us. So there it goes. And unfortunately, we do have clouds, but what we should be watching... I don't have any information on the biome until I get some science going. So we'll wait until we get to 40 kilometers in altitude, and then we'll get some science. But I got a feeling once we're above the clouds, we're not going to be seeing whether we're above land or ocean or what anyway. Okay, here we go. But it feels good. We got a heading here of 234 degrees. 225, 270 is west, so it's more west than I probably want. But I mean, if it all works, I don't know if I care. Now, of course, it is a little bit less efficient going not eastward. But we'll see if it can still... I mean, it did the requirements of the contract comfortably anyway. Okay, there it's pitching over. Pitching over hard. Holy camoly bolies. What the heck? We're going to go up higher altitude for sure. We're over here. We're running over the warm subtropics. What's our trajectory taking us? So our trajectory... Oh my god, we're going like way south. Okay, I misinterpreted what 130 degrees inclination was going to be like. So we're going way more south than I wanted. Okay. All right then. Let's try this. It's a bit of guesswork, but restart the simulation. Let's increase this target to 250 for the apoapsis. Let's change our inclination. That was way too much south. Like it was going off in this direction. I want it more kind of going this direction. So maybe like 90 would be north, would it not? Let's see what 90 does for me. Maybe 90 is south. Oh, if I want to go the other way, I don't know if it thinks negatives. Maybe 270 would be better. 270 would be north. 90 might be south. That might make more sense. So 270 would be north? 270 or -9. I don't know if it'll interpret the negatives right. What if I went like 270 and subtract 30? So 240. Let's see what that does. Engage and run. Trying to remember if I go into the classic, if I can just put in the heading. That would be simpler. Okay, so I want to go north, not south. Let's watch this. I was doing a big roll. And still south. Still south. Southwest. Let's revert this again. Again, don't forget to start that. Let's switch to just classic Ascent profile. You can click your Ascent. Okay, that's that. Mal. Oh no, it does give it target inclination, not. Yeah. I thought there was a button here for literally adjusting the actual... Oh, here, edit ascent path. Can I take that off and then it's still there? There is this sort of edit ascent path thing. I can't even see anything. Why is that? Okay. What if I put in some negative numbers for the inclination? Maybe that's how it thinks. -100. It's not giving me any kind of error. Engage that. Run. Oh, I'm doing the classic. I don't want to do the classic. Let's get back to our prime vector doobie. -100. Run. Downrange. True. False. I don't know if you can put in just T and F for true and false, if that works. I actually don't know. Okay, which way are you going to go? I didn't engage. Oh, I did engage. Wait a minute. Maybe I didn't engage. Restart that. Okay, there. Engage. Okay. Run downrange. True. False. Start the planetary photography. Okay, are you gonna go towards the north? Again, nice roll happening. Which way are you going? Still towards the south. See that? Maybe it always goes towards the south. Guidance. I don't know if there's something I can adjust, something I'm just missing. Seems like no matter what I do, it wants to go south, not north. Now, to be honest, maybe that's not a big deal. Well, it is, because I'll probably end up over the Gulf, which I don't want. I don't know, unless the Gulf is a different biome. Maybe the Gulf is a different biome than the ocean. Maybe I shouldn't worry about it. As long as I'm collecting science the whole way and I meet what the... I gotta figure out, though, there's gotta be a way to get it to go heading towards the north rather than to the south. Okay, apogee is okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, I see why it's pitching over. It's because it's hitting this number. That's why. Maybe I should make that negative 6,500. It's getting to its target on the periapsis. That's why it's pitching over. Okay, we are running over the high, over the warm subtropics. But unless my geography is really wrong, we should be getting over... Well, maybe not, actually. I'm looking down here. We might be more going over, like, you know, Louisiana and Alabama and all that kind of stuff. I think we might be. Over the Panhandle, maybe? As long as this is still running, I don't care. We are getting new science. We are getting to our required apogee of 140 kilometers. This might be worthwhile. Might be worthwhile. So there's the 140. I'm pretty sure we're going to hit our downrange target. Maybe I just shouldn't worry about it. Disengage the autopilot. Again, we're back in space. Let's see what happens when we get below 140. If we're still collecting science. If we are, I might just make this the call. Okay, program has ended. And let's wait till we're below 140 and see if this science is still being collected. It isn't. So what are we over now? Now we're high over the ocean. Sugar daddies. Sugar daddies. We're over the Gulf. Huh. How on earth do you get it to go north? Okay, I'm going to do some Googling, and then I'll get back to you. Oh! Hang on. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Couldn't find anything Googling. Google's getting worse and worse and worse. But, I just put in 90 degrees to shoot for my inclination. and it's going to the north. I don't know honestly why, but it seems to be doing what I want it to do. Okay, so we're gonna just put that photography on. But like, this is the kind of heading I was thinking about. Didn't I put in like 100 and it was going to this? I don't know. I don't understand it. But I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go with this. Now it is going north, and that is good. And we're just gonna watch. Again, I should get that contract going. Oh my golly. Okay. So I just went with the orbital inclination of 90 degrees. It's pushing a little bit to the west and north, which is completely what I would have expected it to do. We're over 40. We're not collecting science because we are high over the oceans. But, okay, let's revert back. Let's see if I can get it to go a little more westward. So instead of 90, what about if I go 110? You know what it might be doing? Is it might be, let's just engage this and do this again. Run downrange. True, false. It might be based upon your latitude, picking the most efficient way to get to that inclination. As opposed, so it's choosing whether to go north or south. And maybe once you get past a certain inclination, it's more efficient to go towards the south than it is to go towards the north. Okay, now it's still going towards the north, northwest. That's what I want. That is what I want. In fact, this 315 is just lovely. I love that. Just want to kind of scoot right over the coast. Oh my gosh. Which it really doesn't help that I can't see the ground at all, thanks to these beautiful clouds. Okay. But. Almost at 40. And we are still high over the oceans. Fragglepuss. So more westward. Okay. Restart simulation. Am I getting to the proper altitude? Yeah, I am. The apogee is fine. So restart simulation. Let's try 130. Run downrange. True, false. I think what I will do is I will go on my Discord and ask, is there a way with MechJeb to actually put in your heading, or really what's called your launch azimuth, if there's a way to manually enter that rather than having MechJeb choose which way to go. No, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it again. See, I just want, see, you can see how, like, the Florida Peninsula kind of drifts towards the east. So that's why you need to go a little bit more towards the west. This one might be good. So I'll ask my Discord. I got some pretty good MechJeb gurus on there. They'll probably have the answer for me lickety-split. But when I was going through all of the things in here, I saw nothing for setting this. Now watch it be just something there and I'm just not seeing it. I don't know. But I'll ask there. That'll probably be a more fruitful than watching Google struggle trying to answer simple questions. Or maybe it's not so simple. Maybe it just can't do it. That's the problem, I think, with the Google searches, though, is if it's something you can't do, it won't tell you you can't do it. It'll give you nonsense trying to convince you you can do it. Maybe you can't do it. I don't know. But I'm very happy with this heading. Okay, we're over and we're running. We are running over the warm subtropics, and hopefully with this heading, we will just continue to stay over the warm subtropics the entire time. That would be lovely. Okay, our ascent is done. We are still over the warm subtropics, so 130 seemed to be a good number. Probably some pretty expensive science. Oh, actually, I could put a thermometer in this thing, too. Dope. Dope, 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 dope. I think I should actually, wait, here. Let me look at, I do have this thing. Temperature scan. What have I done temperature scans high over? Flying high. I've done them over the warm subtropics. It is done over the warm subtropics. Okay, so that's not particularly useful then, so I won't put a thermometer on it. We're now in space. Now the question becomes... Oh, I should look at my contract. Oh, I am going to cross 240. There we go. So that part's done. Oh, we should check the parachute. I still haven't gotten to that part yet. Okay, about to drop below 140. And we are still over the warm subtropics. So very happy with that. Very happy with what's going on here. Okay. Excellent. So the only thing now is what is going to happen with the parachute. Remember, I switched it to the little single radial parachute in there. We'll see how it behaves. Yeah, so here we are coming over. I don't know where we are, but... the booster's out there somewhere. We'll pretend that the booster auto-destructs and rains debris down. Okay. So 130, that's the number to if this parachute works, I'll go make those entries into my boot file. Okay. Probably still lots of electricity, eh? I got so much electricity. Why did I put so much electricity in this thing? 308 kilojoules of electricity. What the heck? Okay. Where's that parachute? Any time now, parachute would be good. Hello? Hello, parachute? Hello? Like, seriously? Oh, no, it's engaged. Alright then. Well, that ain't good. Alright. Somehow my fuel... You know what's funny? Is this actually satisfies the contract, and there's my science. It's still there, but that parachute never deployed, probably because I stuck it in something that says it's covered. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to revert back to the editor. Actually, before I do that, cancel, close. Where's MechJeb again? Oh, that doesn't work. I lost it. Okay. All right, revert back to the editor. All right, so that radial parachute was a bad idea. It probably models at the fact that it's covered, which honestly kind of fair enough, isn't it? Oh dear. Control Z. There it is. So I'll go back to what we had before, which is U. Is that inline one. So we'll stick it here, stick that there, stick that there. And we will take this off and we will model this. So this one, no matter what I do, has 2 chutes. That's just what it is. So we'll take the spare chutes out. Boom. Don't want any spares. That's right. But that's why there is a main and a secondary. It's really just 2 parachutes. But maybe what I should do, just to try and save as much weight on this part as I can, is keep the main chute. Spare chutes 0. Okay, main chute. Wanted touchdown speed is a 6, but somebody suggested if you change the secondary chute to a drogue, right? And see, I wish I could just say don't put in the secondary, but if I change it to a drogue and change the touchdown speed to just a really big number, like 1,000 meters per second. Oh, it doesn't like that. How big can it be? 900 meters. Doesn't like that. 500 meters per second. Doesn't like that. 200. Okay, it's fine with 200 meters per second. But that means the parachute's going to be really small. It seems dumb, but I don't know. And then that is the secondary. This is deployment. And if I change the deployment altitude to something really high, like that's 5 kilometers. If I change it to a drogue, like 20 kilometers. I don't know. Let's see what this does. Deployment speed 6. Okay, that's all fine. Yep. I don't know. Let's see what that does. Auto cut altitude. So if you auto cut that altitude before the other one comes on, I think I'm figuring this out. So this one comes on at 5,000. So if I change the auto cut to 5,000. Full deployment at 10,000. 10,000. There we go. Put an extra 0, right? Yep. Will it like this? Apply settings. Yeah, sure. It seemed fine with that. Okay. I don't know if that saved me some weight or not, but we're going to go with that. We're going to put this back on, and staging's all good. So we're going to simulate you. Hopefully for the last time. All right, so on MechJeb. Ascent guidance. All right, all that is good. Engage and turn that on. Run downrange. Gotta remember, what did I just hit there? I just hit some kind of hotkey. Oh boy. Real solar system parameters. What did I just push? Shoot. Okay. You're gonna go way down here. True. False. Oh, for goodness sakes! What am I doing? What do I have on that's making all these shortcuts come on? Eve config is gone. Okay. I don't know what the real solar system icon is. Okay, on. Go. Okay, real solar system parameters. What are you? Looks like parachutes. I have no idea. Lunar thing? No, lunar transfer. That makes sense. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it. We are not gonna worry about it. And oh my god, it's going to the south now. What the actual happy hell? I did not change a bloody thing. Except now we are going to the south and west rather than northwest. What the happy heck? Okay, we'll test them. No, let's... Oh my gosh. Restart the simulation. Okay, now maybe it just has to do with this progression that I went 90 degrees and then went... That... Run downrange. Wow. Yeah, let's see which way it goes this time. But maybe it has to do with the progression that last time I went to the north and then moved it over from there, so I convinced MechJeb, yeah, go north. See, now it's, I like it. See, going north. Now if I revert. Revert to editor? No, restart simulation. Alright, and now I changed it to 130. Is it now going to go to the north? Run downrange. Oh, engage. True. False. And now it's going to the south. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to do it. Okay, let's just test to see if the parachutes on launch day. I'll do my best guess. But there has to be something. There has to be something that you can literally just put in the heading. There has to be. Really frustrating. This guy's... Oh no, this guy is probably gonna fly today. Alright. I'm just gonna... It's gonna be what it's gonna be, and I'm just gonna say, screw it! Screw it! We've been doing this too long! Screw it, I tells ya. Okay, engines are out. We are running over the warm tropics, but unfortunately we are heading towards the Gulf of Mexico, so what will end up happening is... I'm going to try putting in, I don't know, on launch day like 110 and hope it... So, actually, why don't I then make that change right now? So, V2 film. Whoops. Come back here. -6, that's right. Turn auto stage. I'm going to change that because auto stage is always off. I'm going to change that to inclination 110. And this guy actually was 250 for the Apoapsis or Apogee 250. Okay, we're going to save that. We're going to get rid of this. Hey, I remembered to get rid of that. Isn't that awesome? All right. I don't know. I just want to see if the parachute works, if the parachute works very differently than what it did before. And again, if any of you know how to put that heading in, let me know. I might find out by the time I actually am reading your comment because, again, it does take me I do these at least a week before they become public on YouTube, and I am going to go on my Discord. We're going to... Okay, now I set some crazy altitudes for that drogue chute, so I'm going to see what that does. I can't even remember what I set. I thought I set higher than this, though. Okay, that's a booster blowing up. Okay, we are major decelerating going on, but... Oh, look at... This is so cute! That's because I set, like, the... touchdown speed to be something like 200 meters per second, so it's itsy bitsy teensy weetsy. That looks so stupid. But I suspect it saved me some weight. And now it's fully deploying. This tiny little chute. Slowing me down. Which completely unnecessary. But whatever. At least I kind of understand now how this is working. Oh, and it just cut that chute, and now it put up a single main chute, looking like a normal chute. That has to have saved me some weight. And then this should fully deploy at some point. There it goes. And slow me down to 6 meters per second. Yeah, feels about right. This is done. This is done. I wish you could just get it to just put a single chute anyway. Okay, see, so that is all great. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm completely flustered here. Revert to the editor. The very last thing I'm going to do is go into the avionics and turn, oh no, go to this guy and turn on the planetary photography ahead of time. Other than that, this is ready to go. We're just going to save the edits. And pray. Tool them in RP1. What do I got untooled parts? Cancel for a second? I thought, what's untooled? Procedural tank. Service module. This guy? It's 1.25 by 1.46? No, it's not that guy. Is it this guy? It is that guy. Did I never tooled that? But I've used it before. I am so confused. Why is there a service module up here too? I am so... Okay, that's never been tooled. 12. High pressure steel fuselage. I don't have any in that diameter. I guess I never tooled it. Avionics. Avionics, it's not that. Stringers. There's a 1.25 by 1.8. I don't know what that is. That feels like a nose cone. Oh, that's the default. I know what that is. Yes, yes, yes. I know what that is. That is the default nose cone. HP high pressure aluminum. There is a 1.25 by 1.1. Could that have the 500 units? Okay, I'm going to just put this aside for now. I'm going to try to escape having to do some tooling. I don't want to do some tooling. Me no want tooling. But I do have the conventional structure, this. We're going to change this to a smooth cone. We're going to put in these dimensions of 1.25. And we're switching this to high pressure aluminum. There. And the length of shape is a cone. That does not look like a cone. Oh, the top has to be a 0. Smooth cone, you big ding dong. There we go. Top has to be a 0. And 1.1. Okay, this is tooled. Then we're going to go into the tank UI. And we're going to add in sounding payload. And we're just going to type 500 here. This must have been what I did. Update. There's my 500 units of sounding payload. And that guy doesn't have to be tooled now. No. So, okay, I think I must have just built that. I must have used it at one point and then just built it wrong. But what I'm going to do with this, because I'm happy with this, is changing texture somewhere. There we go. That. Open the color GUI. Sides are stock white. And the side textures are the black metallic. Close. Okay. And then I'm going to go to this, and this is my new one. This guy. We're going to overwrite you. Delete the old one. Yes, sir, George. Okay. No tooling. All right. We're good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now if I go to the combined, I have coming up early science. I'm going to deal with that after. Seriously. And after early science, I have early material science. I think I like that idea. Then I got basic solid rocket engines, avionic prototypes, and satellite era science. I think I'm going to push... Whoops. My dumbness. Research. The supersonic flight, I'm going to push it down. I'm going to push everybody else up. And I'm going to keep satellite era where it is. But I don't need this until I get into planes. And taking advantage of the rubber banding that's happening here. Somebody suggested that. Probably a good idea. Okay, back to combined. So, early science. Oh, first, reconditioning the launch pad, of course. Early science, again, that gives me the advanced biological capsule, as well as that, well, I forgot what it was, cosmic ray detector or something. But, oh, I think we got something in our... I missed that little message. Did we get... No, we didn't get anybody here. Maybe our researchers are just doing better. I don't know. Oh, speaking of which, oh my gosh. My balance is doing pretty good. I could probably hire more staff. Let's get some more researchers going. So auto hire. Let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That puts me to 100. My budget's still 100 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still got 90 on my budget there, and 110. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Let's go to 120. 120 researchers. I like it. Okay. Research that science. Budget screen go away. Okay, what do we got? Let's we'll deal with the early or the that early science next episode. I want to do something. So we're going to launch that V2 and just see what happens. It's been another rolling it out. And actually after this, we will start reconditioning the... Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, warp to sunrise. Okay, launch and recover and proceed. Okay, here she is. This is the one we've been fiddling with. Let's open this up. Our planetary stuff should be starting to run pretty soon. And we are going to open up MechJeb and our Ascent guidance, and we are going to bring up our contract. Hopefully this... Well, the contract part wasn't the difficult part. It was just getting this thing to frickin' go in the heading that I want it to go on. So we say negative 6,200 kilometers on the perigee, 250 on the apogee. I'm going to go for an inclination of 110 and really hope this goes to the north rather than goes to the south. And if whatever it does, it does. I'm going to engage that, and then we're going to run downrange, true, and false. And go. What did I do wrong? I didn't type right. Run down range. I juxtaposed a couple of letters. True, false. There we go. Okay, let's see how she does. We are off. We are off. We are off. We are off. And which direction are you going to head for me? You are heading towards the north. Heading just, well, we say right here, 327 degrees, which is pretty good. Just a little west of south or northwest. Well, hopefully this will do good for me. We'll see. All right. And again, contract, got to get to an altitude of at least 140 kilometers and get downrange at least 240. That part's easy peasy. We just tested this, for goodness sakes. I don't know, looking at this, it sure looks like it's staying over land. Now that there's less clouds here, I can see where I'm going. Okay, and again, no science till we get to 40 kilometers, but then it should be starting to do some planetary photography for me. Lordy Lord. And 58 reputation. Mustn't forget about the reputation. Alright, I feel like I'm over land, not over oceans. Just about at 40. And it's waiting. It says over oceans, but I got me a feeling it shouldn't wait too long. It doesn't feel like ocean. Maybe if I do that a little bit. But, oh, now it's running. Now it's running. Okay, okay. This one, okay. Warm tropics. We're going warm tropics going this way. By the way, somebody on my Discord did find me a good little biome map. And it does seem like there are 2 seasons on the map. From what I can determine, that there's the biomes change slightly from summer to winter. And right now, I've totally lost track of what date we're at. What date are we at? We are in December. Anyway, disengage that. Okay, that went, with all that fussing about, that went better, but oh my gosh, there's got to be a way to just simply put in a heading. Simply put in a heading. I could write a KOS script that could probably do it pretty good. Maybe that's not a bad idea. I don't know. I just got a feeling I'm missing something with MechJeb. Somebody's just going to say, just right there. Just put in your heading. All right, going to cross over 140 into space. Let's time warp. Oh, I was time warping while it was, while it deployed. I don't know what happened to our booster. We're back down below 140. Contract's gone green, so that is good. We have here, congratulations on a successful launch. And we are collecting science. What do we got here? We got some space science. 1.1 credits of space science. And we have still collecting over the warm tropics. Nice. And I'm just going to open up this guy. Just look at this for our current vessel. Planetary photography. Here we go. Space high. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's... Oh, yeah, there's space high over the oceans. We've collected about half of that. It's even in space, it's also... Or space low, for goodness sakes. Flying high, space low. So there's science to get here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see whether this is worth my time. Looks like right now I'm at 2 science points. Window go away. And once we're below 40, we'll be done with the collecting part. There we go. So, what did we get all told? 1 and 1.1. 1.1 flying high in the warm subtropics, and no, 1 flying high in the warm subtropics, 1.1 in low space above this warm subtropics. There's our itty bitty ridiculous little parachute. There is a nose cone pair. I don't know. I'm done with playing with parachutes. I don't care anymore. I so don't. But there is a nose cone parachute that maybe would be the better choice again. But I so don't care. I so don't care. We are landing very... Look at the sun. That's very pretty right there. You know what? In fact, here, F2 and F1. Yeah. Ooh, getting into the jungles. Getting into the mighty jungles. There we go. Okay, recover. All right, so that took care of that. What is that here? That is 2.1 science. And that. Let us go into vehicle assembly building. We will bring up our V2 number 2 / U2000. And this did work for me. So what we got to do is open up the tooling menu. There's nothing to tool. Isn't that special? But what I do have to do is I do have to modify our launch complex so that it can handle slightly taller rockets. There's also different fuel requirements for this guy, so we're going to modify V2 launch complex, yes, and this is again going to take cost here is 8,163 Kerb bucks. It's like half of the money I got left, so glad I saved a little bit of that. And anything else? It's going to take 27 days. So modify. Yep. All engineers in the V2 complex have been unassigned. They will be reassigned if available when the renovation completes. Okay, and we can go out here. At least we can put some of them to work. We can open up our staffing. We can get engineers. In Launch Complex 1, we only have 2 people working, and now we have a whole bunch of engineers sitting around twiddling their thumbs, so I can add up to 17 here, so I might as well do that. Still got a lot of engineers I'm paying to do nothing for the next month, but that's going to be what it's going to be, and then we'll push out that V2 number 2 / U2000 and attempt that 3,000 kilometer downrange contract. So that's going to have to be for a future episode. So thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. Thanks to the people that support this channel, either directly through Patreon or through membership, or indirectly by engaging with the video, especially when it comes to leaving comments down there below the video. In the meantime, have yourself a fantastic few days, and hopefully we'll be seeing another one of these pretty soon. Bye, everybody.